everyone. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and review how to hand pump on the Berlin Heart system and what the indications are. The IKUS is essentially an air compressor that pulses air back and forth through a pneumatic driveline and moves that membrane, okay? There are going to be times, unfortunately, when that IKUS could potentially fail. You'll know because the membrane won't be moving. In that situation, you need to move to hand pumping immediately. Once you have your hand pump, pull the driveline out very gently like this. Do not tug hard, otherwise you could damage the driveline. For LVAD side, go ahead and plug it into the red, and if you have an RVAD, plug it into the blue. Hand pump at a rate of about 60 to 80 beats per minute while calling an ECMO code and also asking for somebody to grab the backup IKUS. So while you're waiting for help to arrive, it is absolutely crucial for you to ensure that you have adequate filling and emptying of the device. More importantly, you want to ensure that your patient has evidence of good clinical cardiac output. If your patient is hypotensive, there's a possibility that your team leader may tell you to pump faster. If you are hypertensive, you might have to pump a little bit slower. Once your backup IKUS has arrived to the room, plug it into ideally a red electrical outlet. Take the keys out of the top of the IKUS and plug it into the ignition slot. Turn the key clockwise to turn the IKUS on. You'll notice the green light will come on, which is telling you that you're receiving AC power from the electrical outlet. The next step will be to open up the laptop and power it on. There's a switch on the bottom right-hand side that you need to flip to the right. These Panasonic Toughbooks are really old, so just be patient and soon you'll see the startup menu. First thing you will do is select the language by pushing English, option 2. Then you will hit 1 to start the program. Now carefully put in the user ID, which is 1, and then the password is 111. The IKUS will then enter a calibration phase, which takes about 6 to 8 minutes. You will hear a series of alarms, and it is very important that you do not silence these alarms. Once the self-calibration is complete, it'll lead to this screen, which gives you the option to choose either univentricular or biventricular mode. To toggle in between options, you want to use the arrow keys at the very bottom. To scroll through the different options, you use right and left, and to change things, you use the up and down arrows. In this video, we're going to program in LVAD only settings. It will ask you to confirm that your right driveline outlet is closed. Once you're in this screen, you're now able to program in your settings. The first thing that we'll set is the systolic pressure, and you will use your arrow up and down keys to change that. Once you've confirmed it, always push enter after each parameter to lock the settings in. The next one is diastolic pressure. We'll go ahead and set that, and we'll push enter to lock that in. Then we'll scroll right to the rate. We will set the beat rate, and we will push enter. We're now going to set the percent systole. Next thing we'll do is we will set the inflow cannula size. And now we'll set the size of the pump. And then finally, we will set the outflow. Once all of your parameters are entered, scroll over to step left and then push enter. Then you'll notice that the OK button lights up. Scroll over to OK and push enter, and your IKUS will start up at the set parameters. The VAD settings will then need to be checked by 2 VAD providers to ensure that all of the proper settings have been entered. Once those settings have been confirmed and once the team leader says it's okay, we can now move the driveline from the hand pump back into the new IKUS. Once we've switched over to the new IKUS, we want to examine our pump to ensure that we have good filling and good emptying of the device. We also want to make sure that our patient has a good clinical exam. Roughly every 2,000 hours of support, we need to do an elective IKUS exchange so that they can be sent back for preventative maintenance. The new IKUS is parked parallel to the old IKUS, and the driveline is switched over. Once we've switched over, it's always very important to assess the pump function, and we want to make sure that we have good filling and good emptying. More importantly, we want to make sure that our patient's exam hasn't changed and they still have evidence of good clinical cardiac output.